of the 9 books, yes, 9 books that I read between October 1st and October 14th, I flew through books these 2 weeks. Now, the reason why I'm only doing the 1st to the 14th because I am participating in Spookathon the 15th through the 20th or 21st, and then I have a 2-day break, which I probably won't read a lot, and then I start Booathon the 24th through the 31st of October. So I'm going to make separate wrap-ups for those 2 readathons that I'm participating in, but I want to go ahead and tell you guys the 9 books that I finished so far. So the first being Reese Witherspoon, Whiskey in a Teacup. So this is just telling about Reese's life and how she got into acting and about her grandmother, some recipes. There's a lot of pictures in this book, but yeah, a lot of recipes, a lot of cute recipes that I can't wait to try out. Pictures from where she came from. It's absolutely cute book, and how, you know, she's a Southern woman and I'm a Southern woman, and I really did enjoy this. My mom also read this month and we both really enjoyed. I think I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Catwoman by Sarah J. Maas, and I am loving these DC characters, and I love how they have taken young adult authors and they're making all these kind of retellings of Wonder Woman, which I have Wonder Woman right here and Catwoman being the next one. But if you haven't been around my channel long, you should know that Sarah J. Maas is one of my favorite authors. And when me and my mom came across this book, and it's signed, my first signed book from Sarah J. Maas, I would like my whole Throne of Glass and everything else signed, which is just a dream, but I've always wanted a signed copy of Sarah J. Maas, and when we saw this, we had to pick it up. This was 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved the story, and I loved how she wrote it. Then at my secondhand bookstore that I go to a lot, which is Second and Charles here in my area, this was in the free bin. It is an advanced copy of Batman Nightwalker by Marie Lu, and when I saw this in the free bin, I picked it up really quickly because I'm wanting to get all the DC books. After reading this, I do really want the hardback copy to match all the rest of my other copies that I have. This was my first Marie Lu book that I've ever read, and I really like her writing, guys. I've never read anything. I didn't read her Legend series. I think it was a series. And I haven't read Warcross or the next one in that series yet. But I really did enjoy her take on Batman. It was really good. Now, when I finally get the hard copy, I will put this back in the free bin so someone else can partake in reading an advanced copy. So the next book I read was Blood Magic by Tessa Granton. And on Goodreads, I saw a lot of people that I follow were giving this like 4 out of 5 stars or 5 out of 5 stars. And honestly, guys, I didn't enjoy this book. It's probably a 2 at best. But before, you know, I get a lot of hate comments, I think I would have enjoyed this book more if I had been 16 again. I'm almost 28 years old, and I just didn't connect with it as much as if I was 16 or 17. I would probably have loved this book, but I just couldn't connect with it, and 2 out of 5 stars. I like the writing style, just didn't like the overall story. So then I read Hunter by Mercedes Lackley, and I love this book. I've seen a lot of people on like Goodreads say this is like another Hunger Games, and I can see where they're coming from when it comes to that. But I love this book. I loved every aspect of this book. I like the love relationship in it, if you can consider it a love relationship. The friendships in this book are absolutely amazing. The backstory was really well done, and I really want to pick up the second book. I think it's a trilogy, but this was 4 out of 5 stars. I love this book. Like, this could be another book that I would read at the beginning of next year. I loved it that much. Hocus Pocus and the all-new sequel, and I enjoyed this. I gave 3 out of 5 stars, but it wasn't really what I was expecting, but I enjoyed it. I still, you know, read it and got through it, but it wasn't really what I was expecting, and I shouldn't have gone into this expecting anything, but I don't really feel like it adds anything. I don't really have a lot of personal opinions on this book. It was a good read, but it wasn't great. Next, I read Haunted Shelby County, Alabama, because that's where I live, and this is just a compilation of short stories on ghost stories and like haunted locations in Shelby, Alabama. anywhere from Clear, Alabama to Chelsea, Alabama, where I live, and it was really, really good. I actually have this book somewhere in a bin downstairs. I just don't know where it's at. It's actually signed by the author, and the author does live in my city, which is really neat to see. Kim Johnson, 4 out of 5 stars, because I enjoyed all the stories in it, and it was really neat getting to see all the spooky locations in my area and the backstories behind everything. But yes, I did read this month. It was really short. It took me like one night to read this book. Then I picked up Her Halloween Treat by Tiffany Reese. This is another library copy. I did a lot of library editions this month, and I'm really proud of myself for not going out and buying them, just picking them up. And this is the Smutty Book Club book of the month for Pages and Pens and Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads. And it was cute, it was smutty, but not something I usually read. It is a very, very short book. I think it's less than like 200 pages or a little over 200 pages. And I enjoyed it, but not something that I would ever really want to pick up again. So probably about 3.5 out of 5 stars. So we're getting down to the last 2 books, and I finally finished Frozen Tides by Morgan Rose. This is her 4th book in her Fallen Kingdom series, and I have fallen in love with the Fallen Kingdom series, and just like every other book that in that series that I've read, this is a 5 out of 5 star. Absolutely loved it. I did annotate it, and I don't have a particular way that I annotate things other than the green is like quotes or scenes that I really enjoyed, and the red is like the love and the story that they're just amazing. And I'm finally like getting to this point where I'm loving a certain character, and I don't want to spoil anything because this is the 4th book in a series, but I loved this book. Absolutely loved this book, and I highly, highly recommend everybody picking up Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rose, the entire series, if you love fantasy. So technically I'm not done with this next book, but I'm almost done. So let me explain myself. So if you guys saw my TBR video at the beginning of the month, I wanted to read 1 story a night, classic ghost stories, and actually that did not happen because it was hard for me to put this story down. So I finished almost all 36 stories minus 2 in the first 14 days, and the reason why that I left 2 stories out is because I do plan on reading 2 stories, and I've already got them marked out, during Booathon. Dracula and Frankenstein, I want to read those stories during Booathon, but I absolutely love this book. I read it last year, and I do plan on reading it next year. It's just a cute little Halloween tradition that I've made for myself, and I love this. Is 4 out of 5 stars. So guys, that's actually the 10 books that I read in the month of October between the 1st and the 14th. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Become a part of my growing channel today, and I look forward to seeing everybody soon in my next video. Also look forward to seeing my Spookathon and Booathon vlogs, TBRs, and wrap-ups coming soon.